Morning guys, welcome back to another video. I've got 4 or 5 hours spare, so I thought I would head out with the Hasselblad X2D with the 28mm f4 on front. So I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk, see what we can capture on this gloomy, rainy morning in London. And also maybe grab a coffee. I'm going to move the mic because it's not in a good spot. Okay, right, train is leaving, see if we can get the focus was wrong. Maybe we can get a panning shot as it goes through anyway. I do quite like this the station though, so we'll get a nice symmetrical shot as well while we're here. Get one in landscape. Nice. Alright, let's head out into the streets and see what we could get today. That's the thing about London, you never know what you're going to get. So the idea is I'm going to walk from Green Park up towards, I guess like the kind of like top of Mayfair. There's a coffee shop there that I want to go to, so I'm going to walk slowly there, get a coffee, get some photos on the way. Then head back to the hotel, get my stuff, and get on a train out of London. It's quite a cool shot. Oh, that's actually really sick. Big fan of that. The entrances and exits of the tube stations, I think, are always a little bit underrated. I think there's definitely a lot to be said, especially like the new, I say new, it's newish, Elizabeth line in London. It actually looks really nice. It's quite a nice shot. The gentleman, this dude, coming out of the station. Okay, so we will. Direction I'm going to go. Oh, way too bright. There's this like reflection on top of the bus shelter. But I think actually 28mm, which is equivalent to about 22, is a bit too much. But I could probably crop in and get the shot that I want. The front of the Rolls-Royce building is always pretty cool because it's got this like really cool reflection. So like when you're stood, I'll show you, look. So when you stood here, you can see yourself because the reflection is kind of tilted. And then same on the other side. So it's really hard to get anything unless you're cropping. So you almost get like a double take at it. But it's really difficult to get. So I can crop that to remove me because obviously the reflection gets me in the frame, which I don't want. Don't think anyone wants that. But I can crop that in a way where I can get the dude in the suit that I was trying to capture. So when I was coming down that side where I was just talking, there was a dude that was going in. Oh yeah, this will look good. So all I'm looking at is this frame up here where people are going up and down the stairs. It looks really nice, which you can see on the screen. Of course, all of the photos in today's video are edited in my presets. There's a link in the description, and the color grading on this as well is from my LUTs, which are also down in the description. So if you want to edit any of your log footage, you can use my LUTs. If you want to edit any of your photos, you can use my presets. I've come up to Mayfair. Let's see if I can just pop you guys on there. I've come up to Mayfair because I'm walking through to where the coffee shop is. And I've just stopped outside the I can never say it, the nice hotel anyway. Because it has this really cool water fountain. Well, water feature. So there's currently a a gentleman out front, and it actually looks really nice with the reflection. It's been a while since I've walked through London, especially this area. This used to all be covered up. Like this area here used to be all construction work. I assume because they were building this, which I like the entrance, but it's very it's weird. Soviet. It feels very Soviet. Look at the building. It's very Soviet. You've even got like an eagle nesting. I mean, I'm all for that kind of like old school brutalist architecture. I actually really like it in parts of London. So I guess it's quite nice to see in this area we have all these grand buildings. You have this, well now, kind of grand Soviet brutalist architecture. Subtle though, I like it. I do really like that. I think that'll be nice for some car stuff in the future. So I'm going to lock that in for a future car shoot. I'm sure they'll be picky about it when I do that, but it will be good nonetheless. It's quite a nice frame. Using it as a frame. Just as a frame. The guy was like, "What are you doing? Why are you taking a photo of the back of my truck?" I don't think I've ever seen a blue black cab before. What I love about walking around Mayfair is you end up finding gems like this. So this is such a beautiful old Mercedes 230e, but it's obviously seen better days, but it's a slice of history almost. Look at it, just nestled in these streets. It looks like it hasn't moved in, well, years actually. I did get a nice shot of it, but I mean, you could just peer inside and look. It's just kind of stuck in time. If I had a CPL, it would be quite a nice shoot, but I don't have a CPL on me, unfortunately. But it is a vibe, that's for sure. Struggling to pull focus because I don't have a CPL, but not that I was coming out to shoot cars this morning. But you never know what you're going to get. There's that saying, isn't it, that you die twice. One when you actually die, and then one when your name is spoken for the last time. Maybe it's true for cars. One, when it stops getting used, and two, when the last photo of it is taken or seen. So hopefully a piece of history can live on a little bit longer because of that photo. Could I please get an oak flat white? Could I have it in a porcelain cup, please? Thank you. One coffee. This is the Hasselblad X2D, and it's the camera that I've been using in this video, not the Hasselblad X2D 100C Mark II. This is just the 100C. The Mark II is being launched now, today. I have the specs in front of me from Hasselblad, and I will talk about those in just a minute because it's pretty cool and there's some changes. However, in 2025, this thing is still an absolute beast, and I use it for a lot of my commercial stuff. I love the medium format sensor. I love the feel and the look of the images, even when walking around street. I use it a lot for car photography, which I'll be using it in some more videos coming soon, or if you watched the Bentley series, then you would have seen that. But I'm using this mostly for high quality car stuff. However, if you'd like to buy this, I do currently have it for sale for £4,300. If you're interested, then send me a DM over on Instagram, or you can just go to the eBay listing, which is down in the description. If it's not there anymore, then it's been sold. The reason being is because I have a 907X on the way from Hasselblad, and I'm excited to use that instead of this, just to have a little bit of a different camera. Let's look at the specs from the X2D II, the Mark II that's coming out. So key message, the X2D II 100C is an industry first end-to-end HDR medium format camera. The upgraded features autofocus, continuous autofocus, Hasselblad natural color solution, HNCS HDR, and 10 stops of stabilization. easily further expanding the shooting scenarios of the X2D series. So one of the downsides to this camera was when you're taking continuous photos, the screen blacks out and it's difficult to take those continuous photos. I haven't got the system, but reading that, I would assume they may have fixed that bug. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait to see other people that have talked about it. But that was one of the biggest things for me about this camera that was a bit annoying in the Hasselblad system. So if they've changed that, that would be sick. Again, I have no idea if they have or not because I haven't used the camera, so I don't know. If you've watched any of our reviews and you know the answer to that, please let me know in the comments, because if that is the case, I want the Mark II because it would be very helpful for me. Moving down, let's look at some of the core product info. So sensor, we've got the BSI CMOS 100 megapixel sensor. Sensor dimensions are 43 by 8 by 32.9, native ISO 50. 16-bit color definition, up to 15.3 stops of dynamic range, and then manual focus, AFS, AFC, subject detection, which is highlighted, so I assume that's going to be a big feature, and then 5-axis 10-stop in-body stabilization too. As always, you get the 1 terabyte SSD, which you've got with this one too. You get that with the new system. And then what else we got here? We've got the app Focus Mobile 2, which I assume is the new app or a new iteration of the app. Yeah, product appearance is slightly different. New custom button, customizable front wheel when pressed. So that's saying that this bit here, when you push in, you can then customize that to change to something else. I assume you'll be able to customize that to like maybe an ISO or something to make it a bit quicker and more dynamic. New display, 3.6-inch wide color gamut OLED with peak brightness at 1400 nit. Then we got new 5D joystick. That is good. That is a very big thing. One of the things I don't like is when you're trying to change the focus mode on this, you have to kind of like touch and swipe and move on the screen. You have no actual dial that you can, well, joystick that you can use. You have that on the new system. That is a plus, which is obviously a lot easier. Redefined tilt structure, up to 90 degrees and down to 43 degrees display can be pulled out to stay clear of the EVF. Now, currently, you can pull it all the way out, but it's a bit, you don't get full 90, you kind of get that. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what you get at the moment. You don't get that full 90 tilt. So you can still do top-down stuff, but the EVF is in the way. And what this is saying is it tilts outwards and 90 degrees, so then you remove the EVF from being in the way of the top of the frame, which is obviously what they should have done in the first place. They also have a new custom button under the 5D joystick, so on this one you can see on the back there, you don't have anything on this side here, but on the new one you have a joystick and a button as well. And then, yeah, some other differences, not really all that much. They are also launching a new lens, which is a 35 to 100, which is an f2.8 to f4, which is cool. 35-100 lens, that's a pretty sick lens. I'll see if I can get my hands on that to talk about that, because that's pretty cool. But those are the main talking points, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I do have the cheat sheet in front of me from Hasselblad themselves, so maybe there's some information in there that you want to know. Just let me know in the comments. Again, if you have seen any of the reviews, let me know as well if the screen does black out or not. Because if that's the case, that's a major update, and that'd be cool. But with all that being said, create more, stress less, and today was more of a relaxed one to go out in London and talk about the new camera that's coming out. Create more, stress less, and I'll see you in the next one.